so fast that I never really knew him. These are the homes. This is the house in Moscow, and this is the house, which is quite extraordinary because it is the house of my great-great-grandparents. And my mother wrote all about it, and it was in Armarvir. And she wrote all of the history of it. It took up a whole city block. And she used to house, all the family came for vacation. Okay, so everybody came. So that meant the nannies, the valets, the this, the that, the other, and you can't imagine how my mother came from that part of the world to just being plain ordinary Elizabeth. And there is my great-grandmother Tarasov. And she is, gosh, she's in her costume. That's the way she was. She was a widow, and that's the way she remained in that costume. This is my grandmother, my cousin Natasha, still my cousin Natasha. And there is my mom with Alexandra, and my grandmother, same lady as this, there. And this is the lady who managed to give me the most beautiful wedding in San Francisco that I ever had. So, Maud Hill was her name. Her dad did get that train across the whole country, and so I'm glad that she got the train over there and that she was able to afford my wedding party. And this is my favorite aunt, Aunt Zaza, my cousin Natasha's mom, the one you just saw, and my Russian icons, and everything that's Russian here, all my icons. And I just discovered I bought this mug for $60 at a sale in outside of Grand Prairie, Dallas. It's now worth something like $3,000. I'm so glad, but I wouldn't part with it for the world. They put those things out so that the Russian people could have a glass of beer. So they had beer keg type carriages, and these mugs were handed out to the populace. That was a little gift. And so I caught one of those in Texas. I can't believe I got it in Texas. Anyway, that's my one Russian icon that I found somewhere. So that's it. Love you. And before I go into the living room, I would like to show you this. This was painted for me by a very good friend of mine who was an antique dealer. And that was just a side thing that he did. He painted on the side. And he suddenly, I said, oh, this is so fantastic. This is like a beautiful bride's bouquet. And he said, it's yours. And that was it. And this was 1968, and as it fell, I was married in 1980, and I can't believe it to this day, but the dream came through, and it was my bride's bouquet. I had forget-me-nots. And, oh God, you're kidding. All right, so I have, this is part of my bride's dress. I'm pulling out all sorts of things. Anyway, this was part of the bride's bouquet. So we'll go into the living room and look at some other paintings. All right, August 9th, 1969. It was the cover of the New Yorker, and Charlie gave it to me, and it was such a thrill. And here it is. It's the back of the book, which is called My Crowd. And then on the front, I have to Odette, birthday greetings, love, Charlie. I can't tell you how much this has meant to me. Charlie and I were such good friends, and I'm so glad that a friend of mine his widow has allowed me to speak of my relationship with Charlie prior to her marriage to him. That's very important to me. Thank you. So, anyway, and a wonderful part of my life, which was Haiti. Haiti was such a beautiful country when I went there, and a friend of mine in Palm Beach caught this charm and the vitality and the whimsy of that country. And my husband of the time, which was William E. Benjamin, did a wonderful thing for me, bought me these paintings, and I have two of them. I gave one to him because it was a wedding anniversary and a birthday, and I felt that he should have at least one. So he's got one of them, but I sure as heck absolutely adore these paintings. They give me joy in the morning. I think of my tropics, which are very much part of my life. And so I have this one, and I have another one, and then I can go to this place, which is where my only instructor in the world of art, and that was in Argentina, and I was very young, and he was, this is a gaucho, I mean real gaucho from Argentina, and I don't think I ever knew anyone that could have ever done a better job than this man. But he never let me get into the oils until I had gone through the watercolors and the tempers, and the tempera first, and then watercolors, and then you finally get to the oils. He was the old school, and it was just extraordinary to have had the exposure to a person such as him. And so that's my friend. And oh God, I'm so happy that I have a painting of his, because this is really very important to my back roots. 6 years of Argentina, and it's an important part of my life. I do feel a lot about Argentina. Painting that Orville Bullman did. Oh, I forgot to tell you. I guess I forgot to tell you his name. He was from a town called, very, very small, insignificant furniture type place of no consequence, and suddenly he developed this extraordinary talent, and his name was Orville. You know, this is a Mate and Bombilla. It's one of the most complete one I have, and this is another one, which I'm so happy to tell you that the Romanovs did the arrangement for it, and I have kept it intact. They made it for my mom, and it's such a beautiful piece. And of course we don't have the little tip, but we've got the whole thing complete. And now, since we have left the South American country and we're into our country, I have the big privilege of being in Smithsonian. And so, my friend, this is my godchild, and this is J.F. Kennedy's godchild as well. She's a fully grown young lady now, whom I just love very deeply, and she lives in California. We don't see each other very often, but I feel very privileged that I have this position. Now, to come around to my little gallery, I would like to show you a friend of my mom's was named Bernard Lamotte, and he did the swimming pool area in JFK's world. JFK called and said Bernard could do it because he had done so many beautiful restaurants in New York with this wonderful greenery and everything. And so he thought that he could do the White House pool. And so the next, and we are looking at what was an envelope that you bought for 20 bucks. And I was so pleased to get a Bernard Lamotte for 20 bucks because I knew that he was, you know, such a fantastic painter. So that was it. And I got the 20 bucks, and besides that I got the envelope and a prize inside. So I framed it. And now you're down to me, and that was my first prize. Gosh, I mean, this was it over at the Texas, gosh, that's Dallas, Texas. I can't tell you what emotion it was when I got this, and I got ribbons. State Fair. Exceptional. Hello. How about that? That was great. I really was very proud of that. But, you know, those were the days. I hope I can get other. Oh, so full of spots. And I found on the side of a wonderful New Hampshire road, and I said, that's mine. I can see forever. And I have seen forever with that painting ever since I bought it in 1958. On the side of a road, and I think it's a Hungarian or a Romanian, I'm not sure. They weren't very sure of their, you know, their great talent. But I suddenly felt like I could see my ocean, and I need to see my ocean always. That's where I want to go. So, there it is. And it's been sitting over many, many places, but always, it's always at peace, which is what I feel is so necessary to all of us. And the luminosity of it always particularly enhanced the painting. So that's it. Hello.